Right, folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for a post-match reaction to Celtic 3, Hibs 1 as Reo Hatate steals the show today at Celtic Park. Joy Alistair to go over it. How you doing, Alistair?
Good, thanks, Josh, yourself.
Aye, good. What did you
Calm
think of the
down,
game?
but calm down yet.
I'm calm down, aye. What did you think of the game of the day? First and foremost, before we get into any sort of team
I,
selections.
I thought, I thought once what we started well, they got a goal with basically the second attack, and and then you're like, oh no, it's got to be one of these days. But no, I thought we actually played all right once we get started, but weaknesses are still there. And I think you'd be naive not to see that.
Aye. Well, team selection wise, the big kind of person that came in was obviously Casper Smyke, obviously back for his injury. I didn't think he would have played. I thought Sinisterra would have kept his place. But he came in, the lineup was pretty much the same. Greg Taylor kept his place alongside Liam Scales, who kept his place like, as usual. Um, Austin Trusty came in and Anthony Ralston kept his place from last week at right back. The midfield was Arnie Engels, Reo Hatate and Callum McGregor. And then the front three was Nicholas Kuhn, Adamida and Dyson Maeda. I thought first 20 minutes, Alistair, I know we could have we probably should have been 2 up.
Yeah, we should
But
have been.
I thought we started with a real good pace. Making chances. It was just that, like last week. I think it was just that final, point. Adam Eder again misses 2 gilt edge opportunities. He probably should be walking away with 3 or 4 goals this afternoon, and that's probably the frustrating thing we did. To be honest with you, I scored, but Celtic players are going to score goals here and there, but that
Yeah,
could have been a potential. Oh,
yeah,
Adam Eder
actually,
step forward
if
that.
you if you actually look at the first goal we got, Josh, it actually does well to bully Bashir out the road. But
Aye.
I don't know about you. This isn't just a general point. Why can our forwards no steal inside when we play
Aye, that was
Hibs?
another.
It
But that was
seems
another. Aye.
it seems to be a it just seems to be Hibs for some reason.
Well, I think that says it all you need to know. I think it's a tactical thing then, because but I think players don't seem to even look across the line, um, and we get probably punished for not taking our chances. It was a ball down the left hand side. Taylor gets absolutely done, but
Yeah,
no
she
surprise. No,
puts the course down, but
unfortunately, no surprise there. We've seen it so many times before with Greg Taylor, and that's not me being harsh. It's just a fact. And
seen
then
it
there's
too open now.
Trusty Billy too easy for me. The break of the ball, Martin Boyle unmarked and puts it past Michael.
Can't miss really.
Then I think people start to get agitated because like everybody else we were saying in the preview, you still want to see a performance, even though for champions or not. I don't think that changes much. Still think it's the assignment is clear, especially going into this semi-final, not final. Sorry. What we want is you want to get full confidence off a back. Probably, hopefully, another 3 wins out of 3 in these kind of last block of games. But I think it was important that the players just kind of, because I thought we were getting through Hibs. I didn't think that was a problem, but then I thought after the goal, we reverted back to that stagnant way where the ball was. We're just playing about the ball, and you think, right, we need a bit of, we need a bit of edge here. And I kept saying to people, give the ball to Hatate. Hatate seemed to me, he was picking up wee pockets. I was watching him quite closely. He was picking up wee.
Hakai and Engels were the two driving forces I felt. And I suppose to a degree, Kuhn, but
I
Kuhn
thought
was.
Kim was not
I
very
know
good,
he
to be
get
honest.
two. I know he got an assist and a goal, but I thought Kuhn was frustrating the life out of me because he
So,
was 1-on-1 with the guy all the
aye.
time. it was like
To be
inside
honest,
that.
see when he showed a bit of positivity, I think he came forward. And that's where his goal and assist kind of came for. He just kind of was latched on for his goal to Adam just being a nuisance, and then he kind of shows good composure to ground and score. But when Nicholas Kuhn, then you get also one where he's just cutting inside and passing it back, and that's what I felt with Celtic, especially when we were behind. I thought we were too safe in our play. I don't think, and I'm like, give the ball to Hatate, because as you said, Hatate and Engels were the only two in that kind of period where I thought, like, you're trying to make something happen here, and we did eventually get the equaliser, ALISTER. Either it was just kind of a long punt, I think, from Ralston. I think either just makes a nuisance, and then
Either muscles Bashir out the road, couldn't take it round the keeper, and it's actually quite a good finish because it's a tight angle. But anyway, after that, we really were comfortable for the rest of the first half.
aye. Then we did get a quick second. Kuhn does well, and I don't. He seems to score first two, and then seem to a harder finish. It seemed.
Well, it looked a harder finish for where we were, um, but um, but you're going to get that waiter. It's a box of chocolate. You don't know what you're getting.
The only thing I'm not trying to go on the downer here, but I think we need to have it. Is that good enough?
In terms of when you play big games, you're not going to get loads and loads of chances.
It's not even just big games. It's because I think he is a big game player.
I don't think
But
big games are the problem if you were maybe
I
honest.
don't. I just have feeling that we get a Champions League or maybe even the playoff. When there's a chance, and you sometimes at home in these playoffs, you need to kind of build up a good lead to go away, or whatever else. So I'm
Well,
not. I like either. I
Celtic
like
under
either.
any
Aye.
circumstances, 2 legs.
I like either, right, but it did. I'm not gonna lie, piss me off a bit, to be honest with you, at times, because
I
there was
take
points
it.
where
I'll say this, Josh. He'll he'll score the hard ones. He's that type of striker.
aye,
But what I will say is he's an option, but he's a player I'd keep, but we need an option there.
we need another option. I think definitely. No, I think Adam either definitely have a good Celtic career. I've never doubted that. I just still worry about how consistent will he actually be. Time will tell next season. Hopefully, we're on
Well,
here talking.
hopefully, Josh, this time next year he's the one with Kuhn and O'Reilly numbers
Aye,
for the
and
past
I
two.
still think his numbers are pretty decent, but I still look at those chances and think, right. And there was a point
He
when
doesn't look great in the eye,
aye,
does he?
and then there's points where if somebody was to look at stats, right, and this is why I'm glad football isn't measured just on stats all the time. You're like, oh, 18, 19 goals, that's good. But you got that right. Yes, brilliant. I think that's a good return. I think it's a superb return. But then you look at it and go, if you see some of the chances, you could have 30 to 40 goals, honestly. So
But
there was a few chances today where
he
the
scores
ball,
goals in bunches
aye,
if you look
but
at it.
there was a chance in the second half, and it really did annoy me. But he does
I
really well. He
remember
just muscle
that.
it different, and he just blends it all the bar. And I'm like Adam, come to fuck. Like seriously,
It does a
man.
hard bit. It
Aye,
does something to control it. You're just like, well, pick a corner.
and he
Yeah.
just does the exact opposite. Um, but I would get into the half time 2-1 up. And you're thinking, right, we'll just hopefully control it. And I think that's what we did in the second half. I thought we're pretty good in the second half. Hatate was picking up space. Thought Engels was decent. McGregor was in there just making sure it all ticked over. I thought Kuhn was, when he was running at players properly instead of cutting back inside all the time, I thought he was decent. So, but the one big worry for me still, ALISTER, is the defence.
Ah, well.
I
I'll
think it
see
needs
you
more work.
shortly. The drop off with Johnston and Ralston and the the centre half when Vickers isn't there.
But what I'll say about
Right.
Johnston and Ralston is the reason I make peace with that is because I know Johnston's are starting right back. But the difference is with the centre half position. I know Liam Scales could be our starting centre half next season if we don't look at centre half options.
I think we'll be looking at centre half.
And it, I don't want to, but I just there was still worries for me. That I know we won pretty comfortably in the end, but there was points where I'm like, right, a bit more a lot of the Hibs games have been. When I think if Hibs are a bit more clinical, we could beat pretty maybe drop
I
points.
think to be honest, Josh, I felt uneasy even if we won because I
Aye,
thought if they steal another goal, you're really notice Michael had a great deal of in the second half. But what's the point? They were afraid every time they put a ball in their box, they would get a free heater and they would go the wrong side of the
well
post.
that chance that Rocky Bashiri had as well in the second half, and so he had quite a lot of chances.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Josh. I mean, it's a good one, but as I said at the top of the podcast, the weaknesses are still there, and you'd be naive to think that there's no weaknesses, especially as you say in the back four. I
I
mean,
think they're definitely at the back four.
I
Just
I do like Trusty, but I I think he needs a run of games. If that
aye.
makes sense.
But I thought they were good. I'm not going to take it away from them. We've still got the 3 points and whatever else. The third goal I think is really good as well. Really good finish from Hatate. I thought he was absolutely brilliant today, and he seems to be hitting a bit of form, and we probably need him to hit a bit of form. Just obviously getting into the last bit of the season, and probably just reminding us, how good he can be. That's been lacking, and I think Brendan Rodgers spoke about that a bit after the game. He was like, sometimes he can be a bit inconsistent, which is true.
But
But
number
when he's
but number 10s, and let's be honest, that's what Hitai is. He's a playmaker. Everything goes through him. But number 10s can be because they take risks to lose the ball. And that's what I always say about Hitai. I mean, I've always said when Hitai plays well, Celtic play well. I've
aye,
always said that.
no, definitely. And I think Rogers was asked about obviously potentially a new contract. Obviously, see what happens. I think if Hatate is really important for us. I think, as you said, I think Hatate and Engels were good today, but Twitter will have you thinking otherwise about Engels apparently. I'm not going to get into it because it's
I
just.
mean,
I mean,
I,
if
I'm going to have a rant about this because it's been bugging me for the last week. Arne Engels puts in great balls from corner kicks, but there's no physicality there. You've got
aye,
Adam Ida is a tall striker, and he's probably the only physical player that we've got.
do you want me to be honest with you? I think it's a point proving thing. I think people don't want to. No, I don't think Arne Engels done anything blistering today. I just think it's an easy stick to hit somebody with, and do you know what? I'm not even going to get
Well,
into too much about it.
see,
See, if you don't think
see,
Arne Engels is a good player, then that's your opinion, and
well,
that's I'm not even don't even
yeah,
rant. But let's just move on, honestly, because I cannot be
no,
bothered.
it wasn't about Engels. What I was going to say was, you know, it's funny that over the season, Ida gets it and Engels gets it. The two big money signings. How,
Um,
how
no, that is
predictable
what
do you
people want
want
to
to
sit and
be?
say. Oh, if it was 2 million, we'd be saying the exact same. Well, no, isn't it? It's
No,
because
you
how much they
didn't.
cost, and that is because how much they cost. It's just the blatant fact. But Alistair, obviously, then I kind of see a changes happen with 20 minutes to go. Congratulations to obviously, I think it was some youth academy guy made his
I
debut.
McArdle.
Young Ricardo made his day. Actually, by the way, he was only on for 5 minutes, but I actually thought he done pretty well. And
Well, see, we guys that are on the bench, Rodgers isn't the type of manager that would. They're obviously showing something in training to be on the fringes. Now, you could say in one way, or you could say, listen, it's an end of season game. I tend to go with the former because
I think we need to
I think
see more youth academy youth products because as we've ranted and raved about, it's not been. So it was good to obviously see him come apart. And I thought he done pretty well, to be honest with you. I thought on his wee cameo, I thought he kind of chased the ball. He probably could have, if he just was a bit quicker, latched onto a chance. So
yeah,
I think there
I
were
believe
good
he's a
signs.
winger.
Aye,
I
no, there was
believe he's a
definitely
winger.
good signs there. I think it's
Aye,
always you always want to see youth kind of come into the squad. So I'm interested to see if maybe he gets any more game time over the next 2 games. See, to be honest with you, why not just throw him in against Aberdeen?
why? And I'm not even that, Josh. Why not even give him trophy day? The place
Uh,
will be buzzing. Nobody'll. Let's be honest, I'll probably get slated for this. Nobody's going to be there next week for the result. Everybody's going to be there to see the trophy get lifted again. Obviously, we weren't a result, but give the boy a chance.
aye, no, definitely. It'll be interesting to also see. I'd even maybe stick him in at Pittodrie. It doesn't get as much bigger task than got at Pittodrie during in a midweek.
To be honest, Joy, you're not going to get many free hits. Let's be honest.
Aye,
With 2 games to go and we're a cup final, just be sensible with your team selection. Don't don't be don't be stubborn and
aye.
burn all your top players out.
No, definitely. But I'll still to end off. I'm going to ask you a man of the match. I think it's going to be pretty unanimous who we pick because I
Yeah,
thought it said
well,
in
it
Jones.
has to be real because when we when we were struggling, he took the game with a scruff of the neck, in my opinion.
Aye,
And his finish is very underrated as well.
no, definitely. I think it's good. We've seen that a lot from Matatui's finish, but I think it's a good finish. I think, and he was just really positive, and as the chant kind of shows, every fans get excited everything you play, and I think that's it. I think when he's on it like that, when he's trying to kind of. I thought at times he was trying to kind of pull Celtic forward, really kind of pull Celtic out a bit of a hole, really. And I thought him and Engels kind of tried to spearhead that. I think Engels needs to work on his shooting. By the way, that's another fucking thing.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man! I mean, that's
well,
SIBO
he,
levels of shooting.
he's not going to be the finished article.
No, I'm not. I'm not having
I
a
do
go at him,
wish,
but
I do wish people would remember that when they're criticised.
No, it's not. It's just, but as I said, Bengals, I'm not just going to sit and blow smoke up the guy's backside or anything. Um,
Oh well.
but no, I think I thought Hatate was outstanding. I think it's pretty unanimous that he
Are
gets
you
man of the
looking
match.
forward to the let's get James Forrest a goal next week?
See, he had a chance as well, man. The goal, he saved it.
It was offside,
I
I
know, and I'm
believe.
like, honestly, I was like, fuck, just let it go in, man. You're 3-1 doing it. Doesn't really mean much.
Yeah,
Um,
I know. I know.
Um, but hopefully the streak will continue over the next 3 games. Hopefully the Scottish, imagine the Scottish Cup final. Honestly, the scenes if James
Aye,
Forrest
aye.
was in the
Last
Scottish
minute James Forrest one.
Cup.
It
Maybe
was
not last
awful.
minute one.
I mean,
I don't think I could take it sitting at Hampden, man. Fucking. But hopefully the streak will continue. But I'm going to wrap it up there for that match reaction as Celtic. With a controlled performance this afternoon against Hibs as Reo Hatate stole the show. We'll be back hopefully during the week to preview our trip to Pittodrie to face Aberdeen. Until then, we'll speak to you later and hail hail.